I'm Aubry. I played on Survivor 32, Brains, Brawn, Beauty 2, and I came in second place. When I first came home, I was obviously a little bit disappointed because I'm an achiever. Like, I was put on the Brains tribe, like, go, go, go. It's not the best unless you're the best, but it really was a lesson in how you can still win even if you don't win. The game is my playground to test my people smarts. Like, I just love how I think in my cast from season 32, you could plop the same group of people down in the same location and it would have a completely different outcome. I just love everything changing, the challenges, the things you can control, the things you can't, the stuff under the surface and the stuff right in front of your face. It's just like the ultimate challenge. I am a competitor and it sucks to come so close, to feel like you played the best game you could, to feel like you were the person running the show in the post-merge of a game compared to the other people sitting next to you, and stand up there and realize, oh man, these people aren't going to reward my gameplay. And I would look at myself and I'm like, was this Russell Natalie White situation? Was I like that devious that people couldn't stand me? But I think that I underestimated the power of groupthink in the jury a little bit. I was definitely in a position in 32 where a lot of was happening. And it was hard to control who I was putting on the jury. And in an effort to keep scrapping and stay alive, that jury management probably is something I could have done better. There were a lot of things going on with that jury. I think, first of all, I was very cagey at tribal council, and people said that they didn't see my play, which was something I kind of had to come to terms with. I remember distinctly being like very closed off, and then I look at Michelle where she was like, that's all malarkey to Ty, and people sitting on the other side didn't get to see everything happening at camp. So when I was cagey and she was out there and fighting and had the necklace, that's something they saw. So I think that was part of it. But then it was also tough because I had people saying I was a threat in the game. So that makes me think that there was a little bit of, we don't want this brainy chick to win. She's supposed to be smart. Why should we reward her if she's smart? Like, she didn't do anything in their minds that was above and beyond. I do have unfinished business in this game. And I think that's one side of the coin, but the other side of the coin, which even charges me up more, is that I have seen every part of this game from day 1 to day 39 and 3 metafacts in between. I've seen it all. I've experienced it all. And I can go in with the confidence knowing that, yes, I have a hunger, but I've also seen the whole shebang. I've seen the wizard behind the curtain, and that in a way gives me more confidence to just go for it. It was the toolbox I brought to the game that really was my biggest move, which is the emotional intelligence, which allowed me to break apart the alliance of Scott and Jason, who had all the super idols, by pulling Ty away emotionally. That some people go in there with, oh, these are the numbers, or let me cause chaos. But for me, it was knowing when to step back and when to go in at the right moment. And I think very few people have that timing down that I had down. I think some people here have similar skill sets. There are some very socially smart women here. I've noticed that Sandra is really good at kind of picking up where there's a weakness in the room or a little tension, and she's like a woodpecker, like trying to get at it. Suri has an amazing social game and ability to communicate with people. I also think Haley, she kind of comes off as a little like doing her own thing, floating a little bit, but I can tell that she's super smart and can sense what's going on in the room. And then, I mean, we have Sarah. Like, I think it's so cool to play with her. I loved her in her season. Like, she's a cop. She knows what's going on in the room. She's always checking people out. I think Tony is a big game changer. He really showed that you can play that aggressive, slightly villainous game and then still win against the nicest guy in the room, which was the opposite that happened to me. Like, I was going into the end thinking like I could be the Tony to Michelle's Woo. Didn't work for me, worked for him. Sandra, she's obviously doing something right. She's won 2 times. This game is like, we might as well have an S branded on our asses. Like, it changes your life, your family's life. You look at the world differently, and you can go out and say, Survivor burned me, people are seedy, I don't trust humanity, or you can take it the other way and realize that it's just a beautiful little snow globe of society, and that's what makes it awesome. You have to choose what you want to take out of it. Well, I think that every player here, there are some people who have never lost, but for any player here who hasn't won the game, I think they're going to take something away from the winner of their season. And something I take away from Michelle is that ability to give off a calm vibe to make people feel comfortable talking to her, and the ability to kind of bounce around and socially get to know everybody, but at the right depth, where they felt like they knew you and then could then reward you, but they didn't feel like they knew you so well that when she stabbed them, it hurt too much. The biggest advantage I have coming into this game as a game changer from my experience before is that I have had to scrap up from the lowest of lows. I've had everyone medevac from under me. I've had an infection on my leg. I've had a mental breakdown and really sucked at making schoolyard picks, which still aren't my favorite thing. But I have had all of those bad things, and even when I did succeed from the low points in 32, I still see ways that I could have done those things better, even if I did come out on top. I can't think of a bigger honor as someone who loves Survivor than to be sitting next to some of these people. Like, it's surreal to be like, oh, there's Malcolm, cool, no big deal. Like, it's awesome just to be in the presence of these Survivor giants. It's like the Hall of Presidents at Disney, but like for Survivor people. It's pretty cool.